Hello, I'm horror cartoonist Dennis St. John. I draw monsters and write twisted tales. As you can imagine, I was a little obsessed with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Lucky for me, so were most of my high school friends, all except one. One friend who stubbornly refused to join the Scoobies. So here we are, 20-some-odd years later. I'm teaming up with Doc Travis, John Teach Landis, and maybe a special guest or two. And we're going to make our friend, Michael Poley, watch one episode of Buffy a week until he's no longer the Buffy Virgin. Welcome to Buffy Virgin, a spoiler-free Buffy the Vampire Slayer podcast. We're going to be going in a circle because it's Season 5, Episode 20, Spiral. I'm your host, cartoonist Dennis St. John. And why don't you guys introduce yourselves from most to least likely to go on a big RV road trip?
I feel like Mike needs to introduce himself. I feel like he's the one who's most likely to go on an RV road trip. Although my dad actually owns a small RV, so I guess I would be second most likely. It's called a Scamp, and it's very cute. My name is Travis.
My name is Michael. I'm the Virgin. I've only seen Buffy up to Season 5, Episode 20, and I think it'd be all right to travel around an RV for a little while, but that's not my retirement fantasy. So I don't want to be on the record saying that's my retirement fantasy. It'd be fun to do for a month.
All right, yeah, that would be a good month.
I think it just depends where you're RVing, and depending on the how big the RV is and the amenities.
And definitely how many nights you run into.
Yeah, like I could be RVing around the Carpathian, mountains, right? But I'd want like a nice RV with a, fully functional bathroom, Just saying.
Yes, I totally agree. I stayed in an RV recently with my wife when we went to go visit some family, and it was like a cute, inexpensive Airbnb experience, and it needed to be 3 times bigger. Which just says something about Americans and entrepreneurship.
All right, let's dive into reactions for Season 5, Episode 13, Blood Ties.
Audience reactions.
We don't have very many reactions this week, but Thiago Liese says, the teleportation, lol, funny episode, guys. And at Dingo Actions says, Slaughter Nanny, laugh 100. So thanks. I think the reactions are pretty much, we were really funny this episode, so.
Well, that's great to hear. I had a reaction that was off Twitter. So I went to a meetup last night with some people who are former coworkers of mine. And one of my former coworkers, he had, whatever reason, in getting to know some of his new coworkers, had shared that his friend had this Buffy podcast or, whatever. And now someone is hooked. It's a new listener is hooked.
Oh, cool.
Friends with Matt K, I guess. But if you're listening, thank you. I don't know how you've done it, but thank you so much.
And we're kind of sorry. We're a little bit sorry that you're hooked on this, but
Matt K was saying that it was hitting the right niche for you as far as Buffy plus whatever kind of nerds we are. So congrats.
We are some sort of specific kind of nerds, yes. All right, let's do the summary for this episode.
The summary.
So, you're on the run from a hell god who just took a semi to the face and is still ticking. Have we got the RV for you? The hellbound Winnebago Express. Whether you're looking to haul the whole family on a weekend getaway or plowing through a battalion of medieval knights, this baby's for you. Complete with a fully equipped kitchen. Just check out that cast iron pan. Great for frying or clobbering. The hellbound Winnebago Express has a top speed in the high 20s. That's as fast as most horses. With optional aluminum foil windows, perfect for you soulless drivers. Is this baby sword and arrow proof? Can it turn on a dime? Well, no. But remember, the family that slays together stays together. You want energy shields? We got energy shields. We have energy shields that will protect you from paladins, rangers, and clerics. Energy shields only operate while stationary. Shields will not protect you from hell gods or former medical interns. Is this a death trap? Hell yeah! With Rooftop Battle Arena, the Hellbound Winnebago Express will help you get the highest human fatality rate allowed by law. The Hellbound Winnebago Express will not protect you from spears to the chest, memory loss when gods transform in front of you, or lost or stolen keys.
All right. Thank you for that. That was dark. Let's move on to Great Lines.
Great lines.
My favorite line from the start of the episode here was when we were trying to understand exactly what had happened and how Buffy had defeated Glory. And Buffy was, being congratulated. And she says, truck hit her. And then Anya says, you threw it at her? I love it. The mythologizing of Buffy happening at this very moment.
Yeah. Anya had tons of great lines. I love when they were in the RV and talking about Xander, and she says, he doesn't travel well, like fine shrimp.
Yeah, I always love Anya and shrimp reference.
And and then another line she says in the RV, she goes, snacks, the most essential part of a migration. And just like, so adorable. Anya is so amazing.
I got this one from Buffy and Willow, where Buffy's like, Will, how long will it hold? Half a day, maybe? Or until Heckle and Jekyll punch a hole through it? I just love a good Heckle and Jekyll reference. Who can resist a Terry Tunes reference? And I also really liked Xander's from earlier when the arrows are being shot at the RV, and he goes, arrows! They're throwing arrows!
That's amazing.
I get it. It's like you're panicked. You say crazy things. All right. We got a major kill count this week.
The kill count.
So I'm counting at least 20 dead humans, but presumably in the hundreds. 4 killed explicitly by Buffy. And in the Buffy versus Glory SmackDown, round 6 goes to Buffy with the assistance of Truck. And round 7 is a decisive victory to Glory with a full-on slaughter and a successful Dawn napping. So now you're prepared. Let's go into the weird noticings of trivia.
Weird noticings.
Well, this episode has an action-packed start. It picks up exactly where the previous episode left off, which was a wonderful surprise. Wrecking the school.
Yeah.
And then Glory and Buffy getting into it until Glory gets hit by a truck, and then becoming Ben, which was such a bizarre, weird way to get like the kind of the energy out of the fight. This felt like I want to see this scene in every movie. I want to see this scene where things are out of control and they don't make sense unless you've been watching the movie for a while, because like these would be great weird trailer moments to have. I mean, you wouldn't want to show these in the trailer because it'd be too much to reveal, but just so much like going on in this opening. And I feel like the energy doesn't stop. It was a really, really fun way to start this thing off.
Also, like those students at Sunnydale,
UC
Sunnydale, like they've seen so much bizarre things. I mean, essentially they saw the Flash running through their campus. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not 100%, but it's like she acts like the Flash. I mean, she acts like a goddess, right? But it's like how much weird stuff. It's during the daytime. I mean, people should be freaking out.
Isn't it also a little jarring just to see like last season's sets again? Like, whoa.
Also, superheroes are gods, you know? I think, like, let's just be clear. I think many shows...
superpowers have godlike power. Superpowers could be gods, but they're not necessarily gods. Right?
Right, they're like more like...
a god can be a superhero, but a superhero doesn't need to be a god.
Is not necessarily a god. But yes, godlike powers, 100%. Also, if you saw a 14-year-old girl screaming and being led away forcefully by a person, you might want to stop and be like, is this girl okay? I'm like, Dawn is like screaming, running through that campus. I mean, Buffy's leading her away, but it's sort of like.
Well, Gloria is also smashing through walls, right?
Right, but you see Dawn screaming and being like led away first. I just thought that. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, nobody tries to tackle Buffy.
No, nobody's like, is this okay?
And just since John is out this week, I felt I needed to do a little bit of the zooming in and enhance. But I'm not as good as John. But I just want to point out, in the dorm, there's a vending machine, and it's a different vending machine. So I took a picture of it down at the documents. Wholly different vending machine. They got another one.
And there was another vending machine that was just for coffee at the gas station.
Yeah.
So they're just taunting. The writers are really just taunting John with this Mike with this vast variety of vending machine that had hitherto not been present.
I mean, it's important to have a certain number of OCD predictions out there just to trigger John. I think I'm going to make another one, I think, about a certain technology that should appear. But anyway, I was really excited to hear a minion with a lady voice.
Yeah. And she's so horny for Ben.
Is she? Is that what's going on in that? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, she's very... I mean, Ben is like making cracks about the bodice not working or whatever. And like, it is just an odd, funny conversation. Of course, the minions are always all about the key, whatever Glory wants. It's like, I've heard this conversation a million times, but not in a lady voice, not in a lady minion voice. So that just made me laugh for whatever reason.
I also love how the minions stressing about the repairs to the dress.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought Glory was the kind of person who gets her dresses
throw it out,
repaired,
right? Wear it once.
Yeah, but I bet those minions get fucked with so much. They're just like, let's do anything we can to make this place look respectable. And Glory's like, I don't care. But she does. All she does is be like, glare at them, and they're like, let's make it work. Such a great boss. The rules by fear. Okay, can we talk about this RV for a second? This RV is amazing. First of all, it's super creepy when it pulls up because it's like, what the fuck is going on here? There's like a little hole in the front because it's a vampire-friendly RV.
Yeah.
Please.
You know, like our intro to Spike was him driving around in a vampire-friendly car, right? But everything was all blackened out. And now they've upgraded to aluminum foil.
Why aluminum foil? Why not just straight out blackout?
Yeah.
Also, like Spike is wearing like goggles, but that's not like how you protect your face, like through the crack. And later on, the crack gets bigger. Like they have a small crack, like when they first pull up, but then they obviously had to make it larger to actually drive it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my narrative excuse for why that happens is Giles is driving. So he's like,
yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't care at that point. Yeah.
So did Spike just steal someone's RV? Because it seems like it's got like a little character in there, and it's certainly not Spike's character. It's not his aesthetic choices. And
he stole the Breaking Bad RV. He just like straight up robbed from Walter White and Jesse Pinkman.
He jokes about getting a Porsche or whatever for you and Big Sis, right? Like it's clearly stolen. But do you think this would work? Like just an RV where you've got the thing cut out in the front?
I'd say we've really experienced Spike seems less affected by the sun than most vampires. He's able to drive around in a car that just has like black paint on the windows. And he can just do the like
he can walk around town in a blanket over his head.
So it works for Spike.
I think a vampire road trip film, I want to see this movie of just everyone's in a road trip, but maybe there's one vampire. I mean, that's really fun. The weird.
I think that's what is it? Preacher. That's like the beginning of Preacher, right?
Okay.
I guess I should add that to the Rex.
Well, this RV is such a character this episode, and I was loving it.
Yeah, it's a real charmer.
But I have some issues with the RV, but we'll get to it, I guess, in the part when they get attacked.
Anya talks about evil Bugs Bunny, which is great.
Yeah.
And
leave it up to Anya to side with Elmer Fudd.
Absolutely. Love it. So I feel like...
What should you call him, mentally deficient or something?
That poor man with a speech impediment or something.
Yeah, right.
Or that sweet man with the...
Yeah. Did you make any more predictions about Anya and bunnies? I really can't remember, but anyways.
Okay, I will make one. All right.
Yeah. That's why she hates Bugs Bunny, right?
Yeah, because it's a bunny.
But she still watches the cartoons.
Well, she's on the other side.
Yeah. It's funny, there's 2 cartoon references.
Yep.
There's the Terry Toons and the Warner Brothers this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So when Tara starts freaking out about the dark, right? And even though there's so much light, and that's why she opens the window, smoke spike for a second. And then we cut to the hospital and freaking everybody's busting out of... I don't know if they bust out of their chains now. It's a little bit later, but whatever other restraints, which seems impossibly strong, but that's cool. Zombies. This fascinating new ritual appears where the minions are throwing these really nicely made runes on the ground and making remarks about the future and how the opportunity is, it's happening.
Some shit is happening.
So I think, we don't have a sense of the moon cycle that's happening right now. But I'm presuming it's all related to the cosmos position because this kind of there's been this concern or, there's a background conversation happening about moon rituals, right? Am I totally off base with making a guess that maybe there's a full moon tonight? Even though they don't cut to it?
I don't know.
I really don't remember if you're onto something or if you're not onto something. I have no idea.
Feels like, something's aligning, whether it's the moon or stars or things from another dimension.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's got to happen
soon. It's a cool ritual that you have in an episode. Don't touch on it. And then the public has a week between episodes. If it was important, you're gonna kind of forget it happened. Right?
It's true. They can't do a rewatch right before or anything.
Yeah. I mean, they might do previously on Buffy. They're doing really good previously on Buffy's, this time of the year to catch casual viewers up, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. So they're doing some really good summaries.
So let me get to my first complaint about this RV, which is Giles just a really shitty, slow driver, or are these horses really fast? Because the average speed of a horse, as I Googled, was 30 miles an hour, though there are reported speeds that are higher, top speeds, but that would exhaust a horse.
Especially if they got a man in full body armor on top of them. Full knightly armor.
Giles is a slow driver.
I mean, the RV looks really old, so the RV could just be really slow.
It doesn't appear that there's any kind of hill or anything they're going up. So
that would have helped. That would have helped sell it, or smoke coming out of the engine.
Yeah.
Or an overheating thing. They could have done ways to make it slow.
Yeah. Turns out Spike calling out Giles' driving might be accurate.
I just couldn't believe the horses caught up. And they have the time for this Indiana Jones sequence that was from Last Crusade. This is totally the tank sequence, man. It's great. Except we're siding with the tank people. But this is great.
Were there other sequences in Indiana Jones where things got stabbed into roofs? I feel like that's that cliche of stabbing something into a ceiling and having it almost kill you. I feel like that's been in other Indiana Jones movies. Or I've seen that before many times.
I mean, I feel like you're talking kind of about there's the same visual in Temple of Doom when they're in the room that's closing and the spikes are going down just because they're the spikes are creeping in on them.
Well, I guess it's a trope of being somewhere and then being sitting and then there's something that stabs through the ceiling or stabs through the car or train or whatever. But I feel like I've seen it before a lot.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't place it.
I like that Buffy is kind of she's telling everybody to stay low, but she's not ducking. And I wondered if that was just short person confidence. We're all you tall people, watch out for cabinets. I'm fine.
I mean, it's got to be terrifying in this RV. Axes, freaking arrows coming through those sides.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be that hard to really like whack a horse with an RV, right?
Yeah, they could swerve a little bit. Man,
he does.
Yeah, just this attack is insane.
It's so insane.
It's like, I mean, this episode has two really kind of crazy action sequences. The first one, the opening, and then this. And you're like, what is this show even?
Yeah, this would be a weird first episode to show because it would be like, I guess it is an action comedy.
Yeah.
But
it also feels like they bought that RV for like $100 because they trashed it. Like they're like, okay, I accidentally won this RV for $500. Let's destroy it in one of our episodes.
So during this sequence, I don't know why, but I was surprised to see Buffy kill a human, which I assume they're humans.
Yeah, I think you have every right to be surprised by that. I believe this is Buffy's first confirmed human kill.
Right. She had a big crisis of conscience when Faith killed a human.
Yeah.
Right. And now, like, she's doing it, but it's like, I'm defending Dawn, whatever the case. But that was crazy. Like, she straight up axes a dude.
Yeah.
Plus, she's throwing people off horses. I mean, people are getting knocked down. I mean, everybody's probably, like, either an accomplice in a murder or committed murder.
Yeah. It's still a big deal for a Slayer to kill a human, right?
It's like if Batman killed somebody.
Yeah. And there's a night, I think she breaks this knight's neck when they're in the gas station. And there's one knight that gets in and like she punches him, but then there's like a cracking sound and then he just falls to the ground. And then like, that's the guy Xander just drags off and then we never see again. I'm pretty sure he's just on dead body duty there.
Xander's her bag man.
Yeah.
Right?
He's like, I've done this a lot with demons. I'm just going to not really think about it.
Yeah, because vampires dust, right? So it's just like an easy cleanup.
Yeah.
Human bodies. Damn. Well, so that happened. Buffy killed some people. And then fucking hell, Giles gets speared through the window. And like, there is no time for Giles to react to this insanity. Like, you when they do that cut of just like, there's a guy on horseback fucking charging you, and then like, boom, Giles is speared through the front of the vehicle. Like, the vehicle's moving forward, right?
Yeah.
And the spear's moving into him. Like, you're done. That's it. That's like, I don't know. That was shocking to me. And then the fact that Giles is later like, oh, not feeling great. You're like, dead, dude.
You should be ecstatic you're still feeling anything right now.
Yeah.
Can I get a medical read on being impaled by a knight?
It's not good. It's not good. It's not gas station medicine if that happens.
Not even an intern could help you on that.
Not even a failing intern could help you out there.
But he's got various injections, you know?
Yeah, that'll save you, right?
Of mysterious fluids.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a nasty wound.
Every video game does that. They're just like injections, and you're like, or self-injecting shit, and you're fine.
Yeah.
It shows how little we know about medicine. Like the doctor comes, and then medicine, and then I go unconscious, and I'm fine.
Right.
Apply 3 medicines to this man.
Yeah.
So I just want to do another zoom and enhance that, and this is probably something only I care about, but that the gas station is called the Four Aces. And I just find that exciting because that's a diner I used to go to in Vermont a lot. It was the Four Aces. So fun for me. Nobody else cares.
Well, this episode gets full D&D, and man, it's very stimulating if you are a dungeon master or retired dungeon master, because Willow's energy wall standing up to clerics. Let's summon the clerics. That is a straight out of D&D style line, and then they touch the energy wall. It's like a strong magic.
I love that they just have 2 clerics there. And they're apparently not very tough. They're not like high level clerics at all.
But they're very old, but old age doesn't indicate level.
Maybe they're people who they just joined this weird Ren Fair thing. They said they were clerics, and then they were, they're like, oh, fuck, this is real.
Right. If we're clerics, we don't have to hurt anybody. Like, right. We can just hold back and throw potions of healing at things.
And then they're so obnoxiously confident where they're like,
mend our garments.
Like, fucking, like, our god is more powerful than this witch. You don't know that.
Okay. Can we fast forward a little bit and talk about like the one excruciating detail that was revealed this episode that's relating to the clerics and everything?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's that we learned about Glory kicked out of her own dimension and put into a newborn baby boy.
Okay.
And that is obviously Ben. And Ben looks like he's between 25 and 30. That's the right age. But this organization is acting like it's thousands of years old. Like these clerics were in their mid 40s when all this went down. Like, right. This is an organization that's been around max 30 years, max. But they're using 1,000-year-old technology. And they have a huge organization. And they've never bothered to kill the baby boy. They only want to find the key. Even though they admit that killing the man would end it. It's so crazy that you learn that it's a 30-year-old organization.
Yeah. That's I think the world building is pretty unclear here, right? To criticize the show a little, I think like it's really unclear like why these knights exist and everything. I think I agree with you, but I think the reason I'm giving is I think the knights and the monks and everything existed before Glory was thrown out to this world because the key is eternal, right? So the key's always been in our dimension, and there's always been that thing of like, we hate the key. But they didn't have like an enemy until Glory showed up, which is also like why why are they knights then?
Why be flipping out about a key if you don't have anything that's gonna, put it in the lock?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very confusing what these knights are all about.
Well, I mean, I like that they just spelled out the Glory Ben thing, because that I needed a little clarity on how that was working. Though I still am not certain exactly like what triggers the movement back and forth. Apparently, that's still unclear. Just being in the right place for Glory to do the most damage is a key. So
you're saying there's some sort of connection between Glory and Ben?
Whoa, dude! Please just let me. You know it. Stop. You're like your gaslighting is so good, Dennis.
Yeah.
You know nothing about this transformation. Just that those characters, I'm glad to have that like kind of spelled out about what's going on with them.
Yeah, there's major info dump this episode about specifics of what the key is. We needed that.
Right, and so it's not just a ticket. Now this is crazy, right? Because it's not just a ticket to a hell dimension. It's a ticket to all dimensions. So like this general is like, when he's telling us that this opens every dimension, that's insane sounding, and that can't possibly be right.
Yeah,
because like I just feel like there's got to be. That just seems like too many dimensions.
I just feel like we know at this point there's like, the Hellmouth is a key to a hell dimension, or is an opening to a hell dimension. We know what's her name? She from Angel can go to her dimension. And we know about like there are these other random dimensions.
There's like a weird Greek, oracle looking dimension.
Yeah.
Portal.
There's what's the monster, the rock monster from season 2 that opens up another mouth to a different hell, So it's like if this key is going to be a big deal in this world where there's just a shit ton of dimensions, like it's because it's an all dimension key, I guess, instead of a specific.
I would argue that it
key.
Doesn't matter. Because in Angel, clearly the dimensions have been fucking opened, right? Like, and that Buffy is just like, oh, we got to stop this. Like, do you? I mean, there's every dimension for every extraterrestrial alien and creature. They're already getting access to Earth.
Buffy season 3, episode 1. There was that dimension that totally unique hell dimension where time moved differently, right?
Yeah, and that seemed to be like a pocket dimension, right? It was like a dimension just to some sort of crazy factory.
It didn't have a whole lot going on other than production.
Yeah.
I can understand Glory just wanting to get back to her dimension. That makes sense. But then like like all dimensions are opened and I'll go through that one door. Okay. It seems that little detail bothered me a little bit. And I guess I didn't even write it down. Just like bothered me a little bit.
We still have 2 episodes for more clarity on that, I guess.
Right, because Glory totally got Dawn, so whatever the dimensions, however those things get open, it's going to happen. So,
I just wanted to point out the guy who plays General Gregor is Will Arden, and this dude is a true genre journeyman. Not only does he hit our usual like triumvirate of being both Buffy, X-Files, and multiple Star Treks, but he's been like his IMDb is like really long, and he mostly plays like either wardens or like inmates or something. But he's played in both live action video games and cartoons like more Batman roles than anybody I've ever seen. He's in Dark Knight Rises. He's like a warden in that, and he's like both. I wrote it down. Shit, he's like Two-Face, and he's Killer Croc, and like all these other Batman characters in different video games and cartoons. Like this dude's been in everything.
Yeah, I recognized, and I'm like, oh, that guy I know from my dreams. I mean, it's like this is a guy like how you know who like a government official is. Like you're like, oh yeah, that's the Secretary of State. Or it's like, oh yeah, who's that guy? Oh yeah.
I think this is his highest ranking though in this show. Getting to be general.
That's true.
Oh, that would be a fun and superfluous infographic by rank for all the characters he's played. Will Arden lore.
I just wanted to also say Buffy's like all she's known is love. All she's known is a mom and a sister who love her. Like that speech gives me the feels.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like, because if you're looking at it strategically, Buffy is on a losing side there, where like the easiest thing would be to just kill Dawn. But it's like, no, that's like 100% not what we're doing, because like this key, the monster and stuff, this is not Dawn. Dawn is the sister, I like it. Gives me the feels.
Yeah, it was an amazing speech.
Well, on the other side of the combat here, the Knights, like the dude, this guy that we learn is Orlando, that I guess has, had his mind wiped by Glory, but didn't reveal the key. Probably didn't know where the key was located, but has mind wiped. And like his friends, like as soon as he's like, it's coming, it's changing, whatever, this darkness is happening, his friend stabs him in the heart in order to prevent him from, I guess muttering things that bother him. Like, or maybe he's about to become a minion. I mean, I don't know the transformation that's about to happen, but that just felt like that bothered me more than, a lot of the other murders, because it was like just straight up sads, knife to the heart, going to keep my friend from maybe moving to the other side, or just muttering shit that bothers me.
Yeah.
Is there no way to cure these people? Like,
also the general thing about like saying like she'll never have your heart, and then stabbing you in the heart. You're like, you're being such a literal jerk.
Yeah, and also like heart stabbing as a way to let your friend down easy. That's fucked up. Hey man,
like,
it was never gonna work.
If you didn't like them.
But we always loved you. Heart stab. There's got to be a better, more humane way. I mean, even a neck crack feels. I don't know, to be honest. If you only have a shiv in your hands, just suffocate. I don't know.
Yeah, it's brutal, right?
But the Knights are they're just a mess. I mean, but
they're an organizational mess. They're a epistemological mess.
I would say the Watcher Council is more organized, and that says something.
I would say that, but then I'd say the Knights get more stuff done.
Okay.
Well, we don't know about that, do we?
Well, we don't know. They seem like they got more boots on the ground.
So I just a little detail is that after Xander lights Spike's cigarette, he pockets Spike's lighter. Shitty friend. But also like some major Xander Spike slash going on there. With their little moments. Spike has a line about like, you let it slip in a couple times.
Yeah, great stuff, I guess, for forming your own audio presentation of Spike Xander. So what's going on with their little conversation? Because like they're talking about, how they're going to get out, right? Or Spike is talking about escaping and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is he thinking that he's going to escape with Xander? Briefly, it's only briefly considered before Buffy shuts that shit down.
Yeah.
Well, I'm of course devastated when they invite Ben, and I just wrote no in like 5 caps, 5 exclamation marks. Like, I can't believe they did that. But I guess we haven't figured out the other side, who Glory is. And that just made me really sad that, like, as much investigation they've done, they hadn't figured that out.
Nope, they got no clue.
Literally the worst person to invite to your party.
Then that whole red herring where it's like, is he going to kill Dawn? No, he's going to inject this into Giles.
Oh, yeah. Like, they totally cut away. He's going to inject her. What do you call that style of cut? That suspenseful hold on thought and inject Giles. And then that transformation is great. Glory's like, Ben finally did something good. And then just immediately murders the general. You're like, oh, yeah, this will be over soon.
Also, I was like kind of unsatisfied with that the fact she just threw the metal
a hubcap
wheel.
Right?
Yeah, the hubcap through the chest and not like off the head. Like that clearly that was screaming for a decapitation.
Sorry, couldn't satisfy your murderous fantasies. Just in the chest.
It's probably just, makeup wise easier to do in the chest.
Oh
yeah.
I'm sure it's way easier to do, but
you just saw someone saving $2,000, Travis.
Listen, they already saved $30,000 on that RV. Okay, there was money in the budget for a decapitation.
Yeah, it would have been awesome to just see a head spiraling through the air.
Yeah.
It's pushing us into slasher territory.
Rolling on the ground like a la Indiana Jones.
Gregor. Yeah, and she punches that hole. I like the visual of like her punching the hole through the energy wall to get through, and then like Buffy's fucked. All right, is that what we got for weird noticings? Let's move on to questions for the group.
Questions for the group.
All right, I got 2. 1, do you think that the Knights could have recruited Riley? Because I think they could have.
Yeah.
I think Riley would have been a real sucker for this kind of organization.
Riley's like, is there like a death wish or a death mission I can sign up for that I can protect Buffy without her knowing, but I can still be really creepy around? Oh, right. I'm there.
Whoa, totally.
Sorry if I'm just totally. Yeah. Riley is made for that organization. A shadowy organization with zero morals.
But also with delusions of like old-fashioned chivalry because you're like a knight, because you're a literal knight.
Yes.
Well, you really just put the scene in my head. I'm seeing Buffy go, Riley? After like he like slays something,
and then he's like, Buffy?
Oh no, he knows it's her. He's like, yeah, Buffy, I joined them so I could protect you on the sly without you knowing.
But they're trying to kill her now.
But you get these great uniforms.
Yeah.
But maybe like someone's trying to kill her and all of a sudden one of the knights punches the other knight so that they can't kill him, and it's Riley.
Yeah. There you go.
There's some Riley fanfic for you.
Riley's not coming back. Stop doing this to me.
You have a prediction he comes back.
Yeah, but I think the show is moving on without him.
Oh, the show has definitely moved on.
My other is just and we talked about this before, but like, why can't these knights get some modern equipment? I mean, horses were surprisingly effective against an RV, but imagine if they had dune buggies.
Imagine if they had the sweet cars from the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. Or imagine if they had guns instead of arrows. Like,
imagine they were drifting all around that RV.
Tokyo drifting.
I mean, I gotta admit, I'm triggered. I mean, I'm triggered by the horses and the armor and all that. I mean, I would want to join that organization. If there was like an organization where you're just geeking out over computers and like, had slingshots, or like that organization, but you only knew how to like write and you couldn't read, it's like the technology can be like a hugely vastly different between the two groups. And I would be like, I'm going to go with the one where they're outside and they have horses, like, even though you'd be at such a disadvantage, like I can see the appeal.
Okay. So you're at the military recruitment parking lot, and like to your left is what looks like a Ren fair, and then to the right is like a sophisticated barracks with like
on the left
satellites
side
and drones
it says,
and shit.
On the left side, it says Knights of Byzantium, and it's like a really creepy cave-like hall. And then the right side, it says U.S. Marine Corps, and it's like, I'm going to go to the cave. What's going on with these Knights of Byzantium?
Right. So there's a guy with a torch who's like, this way, traveler. And then the Marine Corps is just like, party for duty. And you're like, obviously the torch man.
Torch dude. I mean, this guy's got a lot going on. Like, and then you're like, hey man, what's your story? What's these torches?
So glad you asked, ancient tome.
Hold on, is all that leather you're wearing? It's like, oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have children collect poop and pee that we use to tan, tan the hides of the animals we slaughter in our cow cavern.
It's like, wow, this guy's got a really great energy.
So.
Yeah, it's definitely a failing.
So you're saying like they can't move to modern equipment because it would kill the recruiting vibe.
Yeah. I mean, it can be a catch-22 situation, even though I'm sure they've never read catch-22.
How is it a catch-22? Because it makes it easy to recruit, but they are poor at doing their duty.
Yeah. So you modernize, but then you lose that romantic charm. You can't get nobody to join. So in theory, you could be successful, but you're going to die out pretty quick.
I saw a lot more people in the initiative than I did in the Knights of Byzantium.
It's true. I also think one of the major blocks to the recruitment for Knights of Byzantium is like that full forehead tattoo. Like, you're definitely committed for life there once you get that.
I know it's impossible, but if they were able to get Mike Tyson on this show at that time period, that would blow my mind. He's the only other man I know who has like a legit full forehead tattoo, or not forehead, but a temple tattoo at that time. Like now it's very popular with rappers and everyone else, but like, damn, I would have like flipped a lid if all of a sudden I see Mike Tyson with the Knights of Byzantium.
I had no idea what the budget is to get Tyson as an actor.
At that time, it had to have been cheap because he was dealing with some controversy. But
also, there's probably something in his contract how he can't be defeated or something like that. Yeah. So like, he'd be no fun, and he'd be forced to be in a starring role, and he'd be like, "Buffy, it got away. Let's go get her," or whatever Tyson.
You know voice. What? He could be deep faked into this episode. Oh my god! I'm not bothering with this. This Tyson, but it'd be tight. It'd be tight if you deep faked Tyson into this episode.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, there you go. Admit it.
Just for the mind exploding bit, and then you have to read 100 Wikipedia entries to find out that it's fake. That definitely didn't happen.
Yeah. And the other thing that I wanted to, I forgot to bring this up in the weird noticings was that they referenced nuclear reactors or nuclear powered monsters in the episode. Yeah. I was like, did Mike get triggered?
There's no uranium core.
Yeah, they're like, there's no uranium core to her. Oh.
Deep stuff.
So themes and deep stuff. We've kind of touched on this also, but Buffy killed humans, and what are the ethics of that? She seems to be fighting for family over the greater good. I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say about it, but it feels like it's a thing that should be touched on.
I mean, it's definitely a crossing over of a certain threshold that we thought the show or Buffy. Let's stick it on Buffy, right? Because the ethics of that Buffy's crossed over, and she's okay with it. The show is totally okay with it. Obviously, there's no consequence to it. It's part of a swashbuckling action sequence, so it's like a fun series of murders.
Yeah,
as far as murders go, so it's lighthearted.
It's like Robin Hood throwing an axe into your chest.
I don't know if she's okay with it. I mean, we don't know how she's processing it. Let's put it, to me, right, she's not immediately distraught, but she has a lot on her mind, immediately, fight or flight survival. So she didn't kill a bunch of them. She just kind of punched a bunch of them around. And eventually she did kill that one by throwing the axe at him. That's for sure, yes. But she did try not to kill a bunch of people up until that point. But Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where her mind's at, right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Orlando, when they have the meeting for to bring Ben in, Orlando is 10 of our men are dead, which seems like a really high number. I had up to that point only counted a possibility of 4, so it's oh, there's more people run over by that RV than I knew.
Yeah, it's.
Well, it's not right to kill people, right? Period. She's crossed a line, but the show is not going to punish her for it. Though I say that, and then she's catatonic at the end of the episode because she has no idea what to do. She's completely powerless to go after Glory with Dawn because she's done everything that she could think of. So it's really just Dawn, Glory's going to do whatever Glory wants to do.
Yeah, shit is fucked.
They have failed.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have an answer for this question, but we have to watch the final 2 episodes, and then I think I could answer that. Keep this question around. Okay. I think we got to see the next 2 episodes, and then we can come back and I can say, no, I think Buffy still has a lot of ethics, but I think this did something to her that the show is okay with it doing to her because of something else.
Yeah. Well, I think that maybe if the show is making an argument within just this episode, it's that this is war, and it's this isn't the same as Faith murdering somebody who's trying to be on your side or killing a guy for information or something. This is in the heat of battle.
Yeah.
Thing. And Buffy usually doesn't fight humans,
Yeah, there's also that aspect. This is not accidentally stabbing an innocent person or using someone as a human shield, things like that. Yeah.
I mean, right. They're kidnapping generals, or they're tying up generals, not I guess every member of this organization. So I guess when you say it's war.
Yeah, it's the ethics of war, which is a larger conversation, I guess.
Well, Sergeant Rock says, there are rules.
Yeah, or there should be. Yeah, 2 Sergeant Rock references this episode.
Well, we know what style of military knowledge that Xander has.
Yeah, which is funny.
Well, I love it because it's it shows that there's military knowledge that he got because of the Halloween episode, right? And then that's all reinterpreted through comic books because that's where he gets most of his other information. I mean, I kind of love it.
Real life advice, learning how to deal with situation advice. It's all filtered through that.
But that's also really smart because it makes it hugely relatable. Versus he was in the tactical manual of siege from the 17th century. There is this tactic of we could dig underneath this structure, whatever they would. I'm just throwing out a random.
We're going to catapult plague-infested bodies into the Knights of Byzantium's camp. That's my next new plan.
You're on plague duty.
It's also interesting that he's into Sergeant Rock, because I feel like he would have been more of a Nick Fury in the Howling Commandos kind of guy. But I guess he goes DC and Marvel.
Well, this was before Marvel was as popular as DC.
Right? I mean, Marvel comics were very popular in the 90s and 2000s.
Well, I'm just saying TV movie references.
Oh, yeah. I guess you're right.
Because Batman and Superman were the dominant superheroes.
For more casual reference, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Sergeant Rock was ever very popular.
No, that's not a casual reference. I just had to Google it. I was thinking about Schoolhouse Rock. It's definitely unrelated.
All right. This has been a good themes of deep stuff. So why don't we do recommendations?
Recommendations.
I'm going to recommend, because of all the truck running into people and because of the RV adventure and stuff, I'm going to recommend Mad Max Fury Road from 2015. Really, all the Mad Max movies work, but Fury Road was the most recent, and it was amazing. It was really an experience. You guys should have seen it in theaters if you hadn't, but you see it now if you can. I'm going to recommend Army of Darkness, the third Evil Dead movie, because that also has car versus knights, which is a very specific thing. Not a lot of movies or shows have that. But
that's a tight genre. It's a very tight genre.
Ash is driving around in his classic, the Delta 88, and smashing zombie knights with it. And then I guess I'm going to recommend Serenity, Joss Whedon's sci-fi movie that finishes off what's it called, Firefly, because another character meets his end in almost the exact same way that Giles almost meets his end this episode. So it's a little bit of Joss Whedon recycling there. And then, we'll say both Preacher and Indiana Jones, because we brought those up. Last Crusade.
And I believe, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, at the beginning of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, there's a flashback sequence where Indiana's a kid in the desert. And then I think he gets onto a zoo train. And I think there is an episode in the zoo train where they're stabbing it through the roof of the railroad car, right? And that's why it always hits him in his crotch. And then that isn't that?
Maybe. I just remember when he falls into that tank of snakes. All right, let's move on to predictions.
Virgin predictions.
So John isn't here to officially tally things, but I did highlight some that I went through to look at. This actually is a pretty prediction-heavy episode, so it's a bummer we don't have John. We'll have to do a major recap next week. But I'm just going to do a shout out to some of the ones that should at least be discussed when John comes back. Season 5, Episode 5, Dawn is a key to another dimension. Also Season 5, Episode 5, Dawn is the key to the home dimension of the Red Dress Monster. Season 5, Episode 8, Glory is late to a gathering. I also want to shout out Season 5, Episode 12, the Knights of Byzantium will swear allegiance to Buffy. And Buffy will command the Knights into battle against Glory. It seems like Glory's punched them all to death. I could be wrong.
There could be more of them.
Yeah. And Season 5, Episode 19, Glory's going to drink/eat some Dawn blood in the next episode, Season 5, Episode 20, Spiral. That one's definitely denied.
Just trying to add some heat.
I could have sworn Buffy was going to let Spike drink her because he got hurt with his hands, but that didn't happen, obviously.
Yeah, whoa, that would have been intense. All right. Mike, do you have new predictions?
Yeah, I have a few. I mean, I feel like I have so many outstanding that I just need to they need to be resolved. So it feels weird to add too many more right now. I think obviously Glory will open the portal to her dimension. I feel like I already have that prediction, right? Basically.
I'm sure you do, yeah.
If not, please put that on the books. There's a lot of interest in Anya and shrimp jokes. So I think we will visit the shrimpless universe, or we live in it. But let's visit the shrimpless universe. And maybe we already have. There's going to be a rabbit monster that will attack on Easter. That needs to happen. And then Ben is going to get killed. Because, that's obviously how we're going to deal with Glory. Not baby Ben, but adult Ben.
Baby Ben.
And adult Ben doesn't want to die.
I think you already do have an outstanding Ben.
Yeah, I should at this point.
Is going to die.
Yeah, I think I have some other ones about Tara too, right? At this point, because Tara is still under this, Glory magic or Glory mind sucking. But it feels like this is going to get reversed, just the way this is playing out.
Your prediction for Tara right now is Tara will only recover from this brain injury for a moment before dying.
Okay, well then I want to say Tara will recover from her brain injury, period. I know that's just splitting hairs on it, but I think I'll get it for Tara will recover, period. Before dying, I knew that was too much. When I said it, I should have known better, but yeah. I don't know who's going to kill Ben, though.
I think that's the episode, my friends.
Oh, Spike can kill him. Yeah. Oh, but he can't. But unless Ben's evil.
Did anyone else forget about Spike's chip until halfway through this episode?
Oh, totally.
All right. Well, I've been Dennis St. John. One of the things I've been working on that you can watch now is Snoopy in Space on Apple TV Plus. And you can also buy my comics, Land of Many Monsters and Many More Monster Tales, and Dennis St. John's Monster Club comics on my website,
DennisComics.com, DenisComix. That's also my Instagram and my Twitter. All right, well then, thank you, one and all, for listening and talking to us at Buffy Virgin. You can visit our website, BuffyVirgin.com, for links to our blog, our YouTube, our Twitter, and Instagram. Reach out. We love to hear from you. And please rate and review us and give us the likes, give us all the follows. We actually would really appreciate more. So, all right. We'll see you in hell.